Hey, hey, Scorpio. Mel, intuitive coach here. Excited to bring in your January 2025 love and family reading. Welcome back if you're returning, and welcome if you're new. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, Scorpio. I feel like you put yourself in a little bit of a mandatory timeout in the past. Okay, past position here. You have the mirror showing up. So some of you, you were mirroring another individual. You may have needed a little bit of reflection. Okay, we see introspection coming in. We have some inner wounds coming up. I feel if you held back, someone else held back. If you let some triggers get the best of you and you acted in such a way, I feel like you've seen that other person, mirrored the energies. I feel like this is also about you holding up a mirror and saying, what do I need to reflect on? What is my role? So it kind of feels like instead of pointing the fingers at someone else, you kind of pointed those fingers back at you. And that's what that mirror teaches us, is how can we love ourselves and how can we embrace the energy of that which we want to become? That's why you have this Empress showing up as crossing your path, because I feel like the Empress was either controlling, cold, or possessive. That's her shadow aspect. She can be controlling, she can be possessive, or just cold. And I see that, you don't want to be that way, right? Nobody wants to be that way, but sometimes we go through certain situations that cause us to kind of hold ourselves off. And yeah, it looks like you had to make some choices here in the past, but you were in a relationship maybe with someone that you've known for quite some time. Perhaps this was a deeply seated karmic or soulmate that you were dealing with or are dealing with. But I feel like you're coming up to a very pivotal point in matters of the heart, because your overall energy here is the Phoenix. You've closed out or completed a cycle. You're entering into the next phase. Now, some of you, of course, could be rekindling a connection. Now, maybe this is with a family member. This could be with a friend. It doesn't have to be an ex. So for those of you who have wanted to kind of reconnect with maybe your partner, if you are partnered up, I feel like there's an opportunity to bring some healing to the table, because again, you're not just pointing a finger at what they did. You're saying, well, how did we both contribute to the demise of some sort of struggle or challenge? Now, if you have left a marriage or left a union, or if you've exited out of a contract, I feel like you've grown, right? Renewing and growing here, rising from the ashes. You've changed your mind on something. Someone has changed their mind. And look at, you actually have the world coming in above you. This is the potential to open yourself up to the next phase. And that's what the Phoenix brings in here. The next phase has to do with the butterfly. Now, not only do you have next phase showing up twice, look at this. You have on the Phoenix, it says next phase, and on the butterfly, which is your future position, it feels like you may have had to end something, like an end to an old way of thinking is kind of what I'm getting here. An end to an old story that kept playing out over and over. And maybe it was you taking a good long look in the mirror and saying, wait a second, what story do I keep telling myself about love? And how can I gain the wisdom to do something differently? You didn't have to gain the wisdom. You already had it, because you've gone through some reflection. And now the butterfly is about releasing the past. You've done a lot of inner child work, I see here as well. You may have been dealing with a child. For some of you, this had to do with someone else acting out in a childish manner. But you're letting go and you're seeing it from a different perspective or a different angle this time around. And I feel like this has to do with like a family unit. It has to do with your long-term stability. It has to do with relationships that are based on genuine connections, right? Genuine connections, because something here was blocked. Oh, that's why, because you have the Seven of Swords in your hopes and fears. The reason why there was some sort of blockage is because someone wasn't being honest. Someone was not sharing how they truly felt. They were just mirroring another energy, and it wasn't being truthful. That's why that self-reflection and introspection needed to take place. All right, let's dive in here. Bottom of the deck. You're coming out of survival mode. Some of you, you're coming in from the cold with the Five of Pentacles showing up here. Some of you may have even been humbled. You may have been humbled by an experience that kind of made you take a step back. And I also see that you've taken care of someone while they were ill. Okay, maybe someone had a mental illness. Someone could have, it could have been an aging or elderly parent as well. Some of you, this could be a child. I feel like there's a recognition for this of some way. I also see someone getting ready to leave the nest. So perhaps this is a child who's going off to college. This can be you, where you're getting ready to leave maybe some sort of a commitment in order for you to build a life that you truly deserve and desire, one that matches and aligns with your newfound energy, your newfound wings. Yeah, because I feel like you are growing into this new version of yourself, and that may mean that some people you're not taking with you. And this could be, family members or friends. Some of you also are shifting lifestyles. So you could be shifting out of, being in a commitment and you're now single. I just feel like there's a completion or a graduation. Some of you quite literally a graduation, and maybe even a marriage coming in, or that is something that you're planning or preparing for, is some sort of high level commitment. But I feel if you've been out in the cold, you're getting ready to step outside of a comfort zone here. So we have the Phoenix rising from the ashes, meaning you've probably gone through a bit of a tower moment. Now, this is also your energy, Scorpio. Whenever I think of the Phoenix, I think of the death energy, which is your major arcana. You've gone through something, and it was out of your control in a way, but it's changed you. You will never, ever, ever go back to the old Scorpio. And it's changed you because you have grown these wings that you didn't have before. You were a caterpillar prior, and you put yourself in that, chrysalis in order to heal, in order to, evolve and let your wings grow to the beautiful new version of yourself that they are. And it took some time. And you've done a lot of healing while you were in that chrysalis, that cocoon. And I feel like you now can release the past. You're not held down by something anymore. And not that it was a bad holding down, not that I see. For some of you, maybe it felt that way, but maybe it's children. Like I said, you may have had responsibilities where love wasn't your main focus, and now you are getting ready for a child to leave. And now you have a little more freedom to focus on love. For others of you, you're taking your love to the next level, whatever that may mean. You're taking your heart to the next level here. Now, bottom of the deck, I see someone talking. There's some talk therapy going on for you in the month of January. This could be talking to a coach, a therapist, a mentor, or again, talking with a child about future plans. I feel like this has to do with talking about the future. Like, where do we want to move forward? Where do we want to move? For some of you, there could actually be relocating. You could be talking about moving in together. You're talking about your long-term growth, talking about which universities to attend. You could even be talking to, a parent here about family dynamics in some way. This is about texts, calls, and emails, and I just see communication really showing up in a productive way in the month of January, and multiple conversations at that. So I don't feel like it's just one conversation and then that's that. I actually feel like there's multiple. Like, how can we complete this level? How can we get ready for a new journey? Some of you are talking about travel, or you are traveling, and maybe that gives you time to come together, spend time with family instead of everybody being like on their electronics or everybody doing their own thing. I just feel like January is a month where, people are coming together for some reason here for you. And there's support here as well for you. There is support. Now, diving into the tarot, you're starting off, Scorpio, with the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles is multitasking, but it's also about you taking a look at what you are juggling at this time. And some of you, you're taking on a lot, and it's pulling you back into the past, or it could even be too far out into the future. Now, of course, we just talked about your future, but I feel it's important that you do stay present this month and try not to get ahead of yourself, right? Try not to get ahead of yourself, because you want to be in the moment, because that is going to bring you the most joy. That is going to bring you the most pleasure. And I'm actually hearing Fleetwood Mac's song, or Stevie Nicks sings Landslide. And it feels like children get older. I'm getting older too. So there's something here about you seeing life, the cycles of life playing out here. And that makes sense. Maybe this is about mothering or parenting. Maybe this is your own parent or mother. Maybe some of you have watched your children have children. I feel like there is a moment in time where it feels like it just stops in the month of January. And that's unheard of. We don't often feel like we stay very present. We try to, but life is constantly, moving. But I feel like there's a moment here for you, or it could be like a day, or it could be a vacation, or just these conversations that are asking you to stay present, because this is going to be valuable. This is going to be something that you look back on and cherish. I see photographs or pictures or notes. I see some sort of proof, some sort of evidence here of, interactions, but this is good. This is good interaction. So I feel like there's a message of staying present in some sort of communication this month. Now, what's showing up is crossing your path. We have the Empress, this divine mother. This is also about you nurturing and taking care of you. Scorpio, if you are someone who takes care of everyone else, or if you at times tend to neglect your own needs, I feel like it's important for you to, book that massage or take that solo trip. Because the Empress is showing up here as a bit of a challenge, I feel like this is taking care of everyone's, tending to the garden of everybody else, but it's important for you to, ask, what do I want this month? And can I ask for this? Yes, you can. Can I receive support? Yes, you can. And I feel like that's what you are coming into here with this Empress. This is the birth of a new cycle. This is creativity and fertility. She is the mother. She is the wife. She is the nurturer. So this is something you are wanting to bring together in a way. But I feel like the finger again is pointing back at self, saying, are you nurturing? Are you loving? And are you showing up in your own creative genius? Because that's what you are called to do at this time. Scorpio, what's below you? Indecision. So the Two of Swords can be feeling like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. It feels like you're just not sure. Those finger traps that you'd stick in your fingers in the both sides, and then you'd pull and it would trap your fingers. That's kind of what I'm getting here, even though this is yarn and thread. Maybe someone likes to yarn, needle and yarn here. I feel like you've been trapped. There's something about being trapped in the past, but I feel like you're liberating, you're making a choice, or you have made a choice here, because there was a little bit of paralysis analysis where you were stuck in the mind about something. You didn't have enough information, like how do I move forward, or how do I trust that I can make a choice that's in my highest good when it comes to love? Should I cut someone out? Should I give them a second chance? Should I hang on? Should I let go? And I feel like that caused a lot of ambiguity here, but you've learned also from the choices that you've made. And that's why this is showing up in the deep past. Remember, you've learned a lot. You have. You've gained introspection. And just because, situations didn't always turn out the way that you thought they were going to or the way that you wanted doesn't mean that you're off track. So often people think that if they are not, if something didn't work out the way that they thought or the way that they wanted it to, that they made a wrong turn or they didn't trust their intuition. But what if that was exactly the experience that you needed to go through to learn? And, now that you know better, you can do better. And I feel like every little bit of it is part of your path and a part of your journey, and you're honoring that here. Now, in the recent past, you have the Six of Cups in reverse. Now, the Six of Cups can be the card of passion. It can be the card of nostalgia. It can be reconnecting to an old flame even. Now, with this showing up in reverse, I feel like this has to do with unhealthy past attachments. It has to do with inner child wounding. Maybe someone having a difficult past attachment to someone or something that has caused delay or caused one to be in anxiety too far into the past, or causing one to, it's depression that's in the past, anxiety that's in the future. So someone could have been depressed here because they were caught up in a past cycle. Someone could have had a lot of anxiety, and that may be what you're asked to stay present on. Now, what's coming in above you, Scorpio, is the world. There's the wisdom to know the difference. And that's why you have the Two of Swords at the bottom here. And above you, the potential is that you've learned. You can wrap up this cycle anytime you want. For those of you that have been in something for a while and you're like, I'm ready for a change. I'm ready to open myself up. I'm ready to get married, or I'm ready to, feel this new beginning coming in. I mean, this is it. Don't delay some sort of gratification. You've earned a win. You've earned some sort of victory here is what I'm getting. But take care of and nurture yourself. And I also see you making some choices that are choices based on what's best for you. Because you've been in that fight or flight or that perseverance type of energy, maybe because you've been scrutinized. But you have here the departure card. I feel like you've parted ways with your past. Okay, you parted ways maybe with someone from the past, and now you are coming out of a long slumber with the bat, and you have a new perspective on life. You have a new perspective on love. When the Hanged Man energy shows up, Scorpio, this is your fellow water sign, Pisces. This is about letting go. You've been hung up on something. You've been consuming something here. Now, no wonder, because you are in that chrysalis, that cocoon, and what is that bat doing? He has his wing covering the heart. So I feel like you were just trying to protect yourself, but through the healing process, you're coming out of it with a brand new enlightened energy, which I love for you. And sometimes that's what we need in order to wake us up. And if you feel like you are stuck in a situation, I see you departing from that sooner rather than later. Try not to overthink here with the Page of Swords at the bottom of the deck, because that's going to keep you in that fight or flight. That's going to keep you feeling like you keep going back to that Five of Swords. Now, how are you feeling? Well, you're a little bit shaky in your confidence, but that's why the talking or the communication here. Some of you may have cut off communication with someone. Maybe you've ended it because they were dishonest. They weren't being truthful. And I feel like there's going to be you talking about that experience with someone. It may not be that person in itself, but I feel like there is going to be communication, and you could even be writing something down and lighting a flame to it. Maybe you're doing a release ceremony here. Your confidence is returning. This is beautiful. You have the Eight of Wands here. This is the card of progress, communication, and realigning your energy. So if you felt like things have been stagnant, if you feel like you and your partner, if you're in a partnership, if things have been boring, if you've been like two ships passing in the night, I feel like there's going to be some communication, some talking, like how do we get out of this rut? How do we come together and feel more confident? How do we, remember why we fell in love with each other in the first place? For those of you that are single, I definitely see you maybe even diving head first. You see that she's completely diving in here because she sees that there's a key. This key typically is what unlocks that Hanged Man energy. A lot of times in the Hanged Man, you will see that individual holding a key, and it's showing up on the Eight of Wands. So you're unlocking something quite significant within you. There's important information here, Scorpio, coming in, and you're going to take that important information, that important communication, and you're going to use that to get yourself unstuck, to unlock the door to a new portal, to a new energy, to the next phase. What's going on in your environment? You have people. You have the 10 of Pentacles. This is in the upright, so this is good. Now, even though you may have gone through divorce, or you may have gone through some family drama, or perhaps you haven't, but this is the card of maturity. Really, it's the card of privilege. It is the energy of stability, security, and legacy. And I feel like you have set a good, strong, solid foundation for yourself and for your family. I feel like financially you could be in a very good position here, Scorpio. And I see that there's two energies coming together. So if this is something you've been wanting, I mean, this is the card of marriage. We have two cards now with the World. The World can also be a marriage card, and this can also be the marriage card. So whether you've completed a cycle in marriage or you are entering into getting to that point, I mean, it's showing up here for you for a reason. And maybe the communication has to do with vows, right? Someone taking a vow, like for better, for worse. I also see some of you have been with someone for quite some time, and you kind of get into a little bit of a rut, but you're trying to spice things up and say, okay, well, what can we do to bring more engagement, more conversation to the mix, instead of the surface talk of, did you feed the dog, or how was your day, or instead of complaining about that coworker. I feel like you are expanding here in some way. Now, what are the hopes and fears? Denial. Okay. At first, I was feeling like this was dishonesty or deception, which it could be, but I feel like the fear and the hope both land in the sector of denial. Are you in denial about a situation, which is holding you contempt, holding you into, that double two energy? There's a choice to be made. So if you are in denial about a situation, I feel like this is the month where, you expand, you figure it out here. And sometimes we stay in situations because we're in that survival mode. We're in that fight or flight. We say we have to stay because of the kids, or because of finances, or because I've been with this individual for so long, or because this is all I know, or this is my comfort zone. We give every single excuse possible when we are fearing embracing a new journey. And that is a big fear. You also don't want to be robbed of your time, of your heart. You don't want to be wearing a mask here and pretending like everything's okay, and deep down it's not. So I do see you doing a lot of reflecting here, and I just see you needing to make a choice that is best for you, because you are a role model here. You're setting the example. Even if you do not have children in the home, I feel like you're setting the example for your lineage, for your family, for your, ancestral roots, for the people that you connect with, your friends. I feel like that is, what's showing up here. You also have family member that could be, or a family member, or many, that wants to give you some words of advice. Now, some of you, this could be a struggle with a parent, potentially a mother, okay? Someone's mother figure, mother-in-law could be challenging you, okay? Could be challenging you, and it's hard to stay present. It's hard to stay focused because maybe there's some aging here, or you've had to take care of an aging parent. And I see that your outcome is bringing in something quite beautiful. All right, this is a payoff for your rewards. So if you've been working hard on, building a life that you love, a life that's sustainable, a life that's long term, I see here that you have the Six of Pentacles coming in. This is an unexpected gift or a resource. It can be in the form of, helping, being helped, like a helping hand. It can be sharing of knowledge. It can be an exchange here of energy, right? You scratch my back, I scratch yours. We do this together where, we are receiving a mutual energy here of an exchange, okay? So I feel like there's some sort of generosity coming in here. So really pay attention. You don't want to miss out on this by not being present. Okay, you don't want to miss out on this by being so far into the past, right? Or so far into the future, or caught up or consumed in something. I don't feel like you're going to miss it though. That's why all the energies are pointing to this exchange. And this could be what the conversation is about, what the communication is about here. All right, Scorpio, let's get a message from the wisdom of the Oracle. What does Scorpio need to know in matters of the heart? As I say, what does Scorpio need to know? You have deep knowing. Remember, I told you that there's important information coming in or important communication. This is through your intuition. This could be through connecting to someone on this earthly plane. It doesn't matter how you get the information. It just matters that you receive it and that you embrace it, okay? And what you do with it is going to be up to you. But I feel like if you listen to yourself, of course, you're wise. You have the owl right above the moon. This could even be around the full moon, but you have the deep knowing card. This is about your higher self. This is about trusting, in the unknown. 43 could be significant. You may be 43 years old. This could be around the full moon in January, which I'm not sure what date that is specifically. I also see that you're going to have the wisdom to know the difference. So there's something here about wisdom, and you have the world card showing up. And actually, we have the moon and the earth, the world. So there's a deep knowing of the next step or the next journey. You also may have a deep knowing that someone is about to enter into your world. This union is based on reciprocity. This is based on, equal, two equals, partnerships. There is no I in teamwork. And I feel like the two hands coming in together here are saying this is, a balanced union. All right, let's get a few messages from your crystal spirits. And at this time, Scorpio, if you can safely do so, please close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in from your solar plexus chakra, your belly area. Nice big inhale. Hold it as long as you can. And release through the mouth with a nice deep sigh. And with your eyes still closed, tune into your third eye chakra, the area between your eyebrows and your forehead region. And I want you to imagine the first crystal or gemstone that shows up in your mind's eye. Now your crystal could hold a specific shape, size, or color. Perhaps it's the shape of a heart. Perhaps it fits in the palm of your hand. Maybe it's giving off beautiful hues of blues, purples, orange, green, indigo, or maybe rainbow colors. Your crystal could be polished, tumbled, pointy, rutilated. This could be a crystal that you know the name of and that you're familiar with. And if not, Just tune into the energies and frequencies that it's giving off. Perhaps that of unconditional love, protection, strength, or power. There is no right or wrong answer, Scorpio. And if you need a moment, just pause the video and come back when you are ready. And for those of you that would like to be entered into the free monthly reading giveaway, Scorpio, just drop your crystal, whether you have 1 or 5, drop them below. It can be the name, it can be the color, it can be whatever was showing up in your mind's eye. And don't forget to hit that subscribe and bell button so you don't miss that notification on the first of the month. All right, one of my favorites here, we have turquoise. You have card 57. Some of you, 57 could be a significant number. This is about storytelling, reframing a different way of perceiving. There's the Hanged Man energy. This is about the stories that we tell ourselves, the stories that we weave. Now, turquoise, it teaches the beauty of wholeness. There's the world. It assists us in honoring and bringing together all of the pieces of ourselves in order to see the magnificence in the unique collage that we are. Meditating with this stone allows us to honor the whole of our being, even when others do not. This is a coming together. I love that for you. The relationship message is this. The story of a relationship may change over time as you come to recognize and accept your role in the dynamic. Be brave and acknowledge your mistakes, but also the remarkable work that you have done to learn from them and heal your past. Reframing what happened can help you move forward with greater wisdom and strength. You can't make that up. There's the wisdom card here with the world. So this is a beautiful crystal that matches your energy here. Reframing what happened can help you move forward with greater wisdom and strength. If you are seeking a relationship, think about the story you have written about why you haven't yet found the partnership you yearn for. Have you focused only on the details about your shortcomings or challenges and forgotten your strengths and all that you have done right? Now is the time to reconsider your story so that you can write the best one for you. I love this. Yeah, this is all about what we tell ourselves. And you have a new thought process here. You are perceiving life. You're waking up. Something is being brought to your conscious awareness. You have been in that chrysalis, right? You are that phoenix rising from the ashes. You are evolving and growing, and you're entering into the next phase of your life. That is what I have for you, Scorpio. If you like the message, please hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell. And don't forget to drop your crystal in the comment section below. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Lots of love.